Hey, this is Eli with my brother Michael. Welcome back to another episode of Cocoa Bros, and we are going to be continuing our conversation about the Mission Impossible franchise. And here we are on number two, Mission Impossible 2. We're going to mix it up a little bit and do it a little bit different. We're going to talk about let's go with cringiest, dumbest scenes, and maybe
Yeah.
perhaps the coolest scenes, and just things that we liked worse or least and best about this film. But first of all, Michael, go ahead and give us a little bit of the scenario of what this movie's about.
Yeah, so Mission Impossible 2 brings us back. We have Ethan Hunt, or I guess Tom Cruise, reprising his role as Ethan Hunt. And in this particular movie, he has been tasked with retrieving a virus that has gotten into the hands of a disavowed IMF agent, Sean Ambrose. This takes us to Sydney, Australia, where he is going to him and his team are going to get the virus back, also get the antidote at the same time, and save the world.
And what an adventure it is.
What an adventure it is. The year 2000, we're going on a wild adventure.
Yes, we are. Starting off with the cringiest scene of all, I think. Starting off this movie is the camera slowly comes in on Monument Valley, and there's our man, Ethan Hunt, hanging on the side of a cliff. What the crap?
Yeah, dude, he's just scaling this. He's on holiday, right? As we find out, but he's just climbing this mountain in his capri pants and his and his climbing shoes.
Free climbing, of all things.
He's free climbing.
Right.
That's right. Why is it cringy? Climbing's not cringy. The amount of shots that they do for Homeboy jumping from one face to another, that's pretty cringy. Right?
Or even just hanging in the same spot.
That's right. That's right. He does a lot of like looking around and just like shaking his hair, and he's got long hair in this movie, so it's like it's weird, right?
Well, it almost seemed like it was that in between stage of growing his hair out.
Yeah,
almost like it was.
It's too long to do anything like nice with it, but it's too short to style it properly.
But also almost like, hey, Tom, we really got to film this movie, okay? Like it looks fine. Just hang on the side of the cliff. We'll get the shots
we can't wait any longer. We just got to get going. So, was he growing it out for The Last Samurai? Maybe.
Ooh, that's actually a good call. Maybe.
I have no idea. Maybe. Same
It came
time
around
frame?
the same time, didn't it?
I think so. But we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. Great film, though.
All right. So we got this cringy climbing scene, right? The music's going. It's the year 2000, so we can only think people must have been eating this up, right?
Oh, yeah.
You watch it now, it's like, gosh, what is happening? How long is this scene? Are we going anywhere?
Half the movie was at the beginning.
That's right. That's right. He gets to the top, and you hear this helicopter, which you think out there in the valley you'd have seen it at some point. But it rises up, and he shakes his head like, oh, these busters find me again. And you don't know what's happening. Homeboy hangs out at the side of the helicopter with a rocket launcher, and he shoots a missile. But it ain't no regular missile. It's a message missile. So it hits the ground, and he opens it up, pulls out a sweet pair of Ray-Bans. And that's where
Ray-Bans. Oakley's, man.
Sorry, my bad. Oakley's. Pulls out his Oakley's, put these bad boys on. And then he gets his mission briefing. And cool, kind of, right, technology-wise. But then what does he do after? Gets his mission briefing? Chucks those bad boys. Because, as always, your message self-destructs in 5 seconds.
Right.
He's flying through the air, right
Boom.
into the theme.
Right into the title and that theme music.
That's
right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, how else were we going to know what movie we were watching if he didn't do that?
That's right. If there was an explosion, and this time there was like I think I said before, like a Limp Bizkit rendition of the theme song.
That is true, yeah.
Like cool guitars and stuff. Dude, it was the bomb.
Limp Bizkit was the bomb back then. What are you talking?
That's right.
And
that's where they belong.
We just keep saying 2000. The bomb because that was cool too back then.
That's right. I know. What do we got? Okay, so next, one of the next cringiest scenes. So part of his mission briefing is that he needs to get 3 people to join his team for this mission. One of them has to be Nia Hall, played by Tandy Newton. Right?
Yep.
So we find him in Spain, where I'm trying to remember. Does he link up with Anthony Hopkins before or after?
Before, because he tells her that she has to be one of those folks that's part of the team.
Oh, I thought that was on the briefing. No matter. There's a weird scene with Anthony Hopkins. He's the
Did we
he's
watch the
the
same movie?
yeah, he's the mission commander, and it's just a very weird interaction, very short lived. But it's like that is Sir Anthony Hopkins' only part in this movie. You know, besides
Dude,
some
yeah,
narration.
he's in there for like a
at the
total
end.
of 5 minutes.
Yeah, if that. Anyways, takes us to Spain, and we got some flamenco dancing going on at this house party. And you don't really know what's happening, but you see Tandy Newton and you see Tom Cruise, and it's very sexy looking. There's still a lot of slow motion shots. Very weird.
Right.
But Homegirl's there. Her sole purpose in this particular scene is she is there stealing a necklace, right? So the necklace, we talked about this, happens to be in a secret safe
Yeah.
by the bathtub.
In the bathtub.
In the tiles of the bathtub area.
Right.
And while she's digging into this in the bathtub, Ethan Hunt joins her in the tub, and they're real close quarters. And it's just weird, right?
It is
and I'm
weird.
just like, well, you know, maybe because she's thieving, she's like not quick to scream about it, right?
Maybe, perhaps.
Maybe, right? But it's just like, what's going on here?
Or maybe she liked it. We don't know.
Maybe she liked it. Shame.
It was that hair.
And what's that?
It was that hair.
It was that long hair. She said, I don't like you, but this hair it's got me enchanted. Now, here's why it's cringy and silly. Okay. So she's stealing this necklace. She's about to close the thing. And I wouldn't do that if I were you. She closes it. And then we got the zooming in on his face, her face, the thing, and an alarm goes off. Right. And so security team for this house, I'm guessing it's a large mansion. They come in and they're all, holding up some guns. But then another guy comes in and says, whoa, put your gun. This is our security consultant, so-and-so. Right. Well, how long has so-and-so, Tom Cruise, been casing this joint that he's embedded this family and is a security consultant for them? Like,
right. For all we know, he got the mission the day before.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how long? Bro, this takes time. That's unbelievable. I do not believe this. Right. So everyone's like, oh, it's all good. And he was like, oh, we were just running some practices and y'all need some better security over here. So fake is what I got to say to that. And then he also shows her that he triggered the alarm, right? With a remote.
Right. Little key fob looking thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Little buster. It's like, oh my God, so dumb. Well, then I don't know if that was supposed to be impressive, but she was like, fool, I don't want to see you. Peace. Pulls off. Well, the next day she's driving her, and this takes us to the next scene. I mean, these scenes, they are feeding us these cringy scenes back to back.
One
right?
after another.
If you've made it this far in the movie, you got nothing else to do because it's pretty crusty.
If you haven't walked out of the theater by now,
that's right.
2000.
If you haven't walked 24 years ago,
right. But so it takes us to where when they're driving the cars, right?
Driving the cars, yep.
Yeah, convertibles on the side of the mountain.
Supercars, right? They're driving. They show her, she's driving, looks like she's just taking a joyride, gets a phone call in the mobile phone inside the car. She answers it. Who is it? Tom Cruise behind her.
Loud and clear.
That's
right.
Loud and clear, too. I always remember this. How did you get this number? I don't even have it. It's like, okay, well, is it your car? That's what I want to know. Again, like, I don't know. In the world of thieving, like, do you know things like this? Do you have cars just playing all over it and you know all the info? I don't know.
Why are you answering somebody else's phone if that's not your phone?
I don't know. If it's your, that's right. It's just not, get off the phone. Presumably stolen car, and here she is answering the phone like it's hers.
What if you answered and someone said, "Hey, you have my car. Get my car back.
Get back here now."
Sorry.
Sorry, you wrong number. Yeah, exactly.
I don't even have this number.
This whole exchange is so stupid because they're driving side by side. They're talking to each other. Convertibles, high speed, mountain scene, right? Yep. And they can hear each other. I'm like, that's fake. Okay. Ain't nobody can have a conversation like that from car to car that clearly. Never.
No, not at all.
So she's like, yeah, you want these, you're going to have to catch me. So then they start driving recklessly, just causing all sorts of havoc. Well, then she spins out, clips him, and they're spinning. Now this, ultra cringy. This is up there in all the scenes of the movie. Slow motion, Hans Zimmer, Gladiator music. Remember this? And they're just like looking at each other. Oh, brother, dude. It is so bad. Okay. And then she almost goes off the cliff. But homeboy reaches down and grabs her, pulls her up. and then holds her in the car, and then the shot like they're backing up, and he's like,
with some more music.
yes.
Yeah.
But then it quickly turns into because then they next scene they're sleeping together.
Well, they got the feels, man. Come on.
Near death experience always brings on the feels.
Bro.
Always.
Okay, so let's say you saved your wife's life. Wouldn't you expect something as a reward?
A solid thank you and a good handshake. That'll do.
Maybe a cheeseburger?
Man, a cheeseburger. Done deal. We good. I'll save your life any day.
Well, maybe she'll give you a cheeseburger and sit there at the table and go, hello, hello.
Give me that gladiator music.
Eat it slowly.
With different camera scenes, like shots.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, you can have one of the kids just walk in a circle around the table filming.
Sorry, dude. Perfect, man. I'm going to make my own cringy movie.
I think we should.
I'm going to call Mission Impossible Burger Time.
Burger Impossible.
Burger Impossible.
Yeah, not the Impossible Burger, though, because that's disgusting.
Yeah. True that. Facts.
Man, that's also cringy. But anyway, we go from that cringy driving scene to coming in on our villain, I guess, Dougray Scott, or as you pronounce it, Doug Ray.
Doug Ray.
I don't know what's correct. But anyway, he plays the character of Sean Ambrose, who is a disavowed IMF agent, which is the same agency that Ethan Hunt works for. But he also has this past history with Nia Hall, which, from what I got, that's why
that's why
Ethan Hunt
he
had
her.
to pick her, right?
That's right.
That's why it was like, you can pick 3 people, but one of them has to be this lady, Nia Hall.
Right.
And it turns out it's because she had this past history with Sean Ambrose, who is actually the target in this whole mission, because he took the virus, correct?
Yeah. So there was a scientist who infected himself with it, bringing it over. They took the scientist, took the virus, killed him. All right, let's talk about Sean Ambrose. Goes to meet him.
Nia Hall goes to meet him, and that's Sean Ambrose has this. His right hand man is. Where's he supposed to be from? He wasn't supposed to be Australian, was he?
He sounded South African, but he's an Australian actor.
Yeah, well, accent was horrible, whatever it was. But he keeps telling Sean Ambrose that, hey, there's something fishy about this. Why is she back here? She left you. Why, we shouldn't trust her. And Sean's just like, oh, I knew what they're doing. I know that was a horrible accent.
And then he cuts the guy's finger off for for even questioning.
What? Right.
Well, he's just like, dude, trust me, I got this, bruh. And I cut your fingers to show you.
Well, I mean, something about a beautiful lady makes somebody go crazy.
Just makes you want to cut fingers off. Okay, but listen, let's get back to this. The cringy part about Sean Ambrose is Homeboy's a crybaby. Every scene we see him in, Homeboy always looks like he's on the verge of crying.
Yes, always has watery eyes, and something to do with her. It's always something to do with her, something she says, she walks away, he doesn't like it, and he is just like head over heels for this lady. I wouldn't even say like, oh, he's in love with her. I would say he's just obsessed. He's obsessed with her, and it's like just a piece of property, right? Like, nope, she's here, she's mine, and she's going to do whatever I want. There's no way that she's going to betray me. And then when she does... Just
well, that's right, dude. So let's talk first scene with them together. She's at his compound, and he gives her a dress. He gives it to her. I hope you wear the same size or whatever. And then she looks like she's about to cry, and then he's like, "This can wait," or trying on the dress can wait. Anyway, it's just freaking weird and cringy, right?
Right.
Next scene, they're going to the horse races. Or was it dog races? They're going to races.
To the race.
Okay? To the race.
Could have been Fast and Furious race wars.
Here we go. Here's an excellently cringy scene. Okay. She gets word that she needs to go rendezvous with Ethan Hunt. And so she leaves Ambrose's side, and he grabs her pretty forcefully. And what does he say, Eli?
Put down 1,000 for me.
That's right, dude. He's a high-stakes guy. That's so
right,
funny.
But it was like when he grabbed her arm, though, and she turns around, it was like a whole 30 seconds before he even said anything.
Well, it's also like she's busted.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Put down 1,000 for me. Really? That's what we waited for. Was for you to...
Oh, okay. Sure. You got it, bud.
Sorry, this guy wanted 1,000? I don't know what that is.
1,000. I'm sorry. Hi, you place your bets here. I'm looking for 1,000. I'm not sure what that is, but if you
I know
have
what
them, come get
1,000 is.
them. What if she stopped and said, 1,000? What's 1,000? You stupid. 1,000, Ambrose? Get it together, bro.
Right. And even then, he looked like he was going to cry when he's telling her.
Put down 1,000. Okay.
But anyway, we go through so many scenes of this dude almost crying. I mean, finally, he puts on a mask and he pretends like he's Ethan Hunt. And this is to test her loyalty. And he like goes, he sees her at the compound. She thinks it's really Ethan Hunt. And that's where she just kind of spills everything, right? Because she's talking to who she thinks is him. And like, oh, I need to get out of here. I can't be here anymore. You need to come get me out. And yes, I'm going to come get you. I just need to stay here a little bit longer. And then she leaves. And as he pulls off the mask, he's already crying underneath the mask.
Cry 1,000 tears for me.
So we go moving on towards the end here, and there's this long motorcycle pursuit. Pursuits.
Yeah. Let's get. I think we really cherry on top, right? Is this motorcycle scene?
Oh, the jump.
Dude, there's all sorts of parts with it, right? But we've accelerated to this point where they're on a chase, right? It's a high-speed chase. We're nearing the end. Ethan Hunt's got the antidote, I think, and the virus, and he's bailing, right?
Yeah.
So Sean Ambrose hops on a motorcycle as well. He's chasing him down, shooting. Not a single bullet can touch Ethan Hunt. That's fake. Cars are exploding. People are getting hit by other vehicles. Fake. Anyways, we've talked about this. They pull off what looks like into a jungle area, a very wooded area. And then on their street bikes,
right?
But when they get over there,
street tires,
then they're on like they're in like a clearing by the beach on a cliff, and now their street tires have turned into off-road tires, right?
And I honestly don't know if they're the same bikes, but it is.
They might not even be the right. I know,
like,
and
we're just get the same color. Nobody's going to notice.
That's right, dude. And everyone's watching like, well, this is amazing,
right? Yeah.
So then they're like, rev it up, and they go. And here's what I want to know. It's like, how do you know what you're gonna like? They looked at each other, and then it was like Footloose, man. They went chicken styles. They just knew what they were gonna do.
Yeah, Footloose. So that music would have been awesome for that scene,
dude. Absolutely, I would have liked it a lot more. So they go wheelie styles at each other, jump off their motorcycles, impact in the air, and spin
right.
onto another level of the beach down in the sand.
Right. How many levels of this beach are there?
I don't know, man. It's Australia. Who knows? those beaches are nuts. So now they go, we're going hand-to-hand combat. Someone pulls out a knife. Someone's getting cut. Well, it's it's a very long fight scene. I felt a lot of bad fighting. Well, my standards for fake fighting is up here, and this was not meeting. It was not up to par. This
was John Woo fighting.
This is John Woo fighting. Not that great. No. Anyways, Doug Ray Scott hits his head on a rock or something, and Ethan Hunt could have killed him for real, but he thought he's unconscious. We're okay. Goes.
I thought he was okay.
Peeps. And then we have Sean Ambrose. Hunt! You should have killed me. And then he goes again. But Eli, tell us about the surprise that was waiting in the sand for us.
Well, there was a handgun that ended up falling out into the sand during their fight, but you don't see it. Or at least Sean doesn't see it as he's pointing his gun at Ethan Hunt, getting ready to shoot him. But what does Ethan Hunt do? Kicks the sand, and out comes this handgun, straight up, kind of like you do with the soccer ball. Comes straight up, and weird enough, it's pointing straight at Sean Ambrose. So he just grabs it, pulls that trigger, boom.
And blah, blah.
Right.
Gets him.
And
finally.
And like I said before, it's like, dude, I can't even do that with the soccer ball correctly. Like, I imagine if I did it, it would have gone forward to him, and then he would have had two guns to shoot me, is what would have happened to me.
Yeah, dude. Or even, that'd have been worst case. Otherwise, I would have kicked it and probably just would have gone deeper into the sand. Right. And then I'm getting shot anyway, so.
Time out.
Time out. Wait. Time out. Take 1,000 timeouts for me. So then we'll jump to this. Okay, well, overall cringy, right?
Overall,
So then
yes.
in comparison, we thought, well, what are the coolest scenes in that movie?
All right, thanks for joining us for another episode.
Yeah, dude. Practically none. The only scene that was semi cool was when Homeboy jumped from the helicopter at the top of the pharmaceutical building.
Mm-hmm.
Ving Rhames hacks the system to open up the air vents on top, whatever they called it. And he jumps through, just right through these vents, goes down, and then they have to undo his line, and the winch has to pull it back up through the vent before it
Because they only had
closes.
X amount of time, right, before
X
the
amount of
system kicked back online, right?
Exactly.
Because there were all these
exactly.
motion sensors and stuff down this. What would
Who
you call
knows?
it? A
Who
tower,
knows?
a
But I
silo? I don't
think
know.
the vents were on a timer or something, and they're
Yeah,
supposed to be closed at night. They're for sunlight or something. I don't know. But anyways, that's the only cool scene because it was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, dang. But that's it.
yep.
That's it.
But
Everything
overall,
else was kind of,
the movie was Garbo, man.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So let's make this quick, man. Let's give this an official Cocoa Bros rating. How many coconuts are you giving this bad boy?
Well, I was thinking 4. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah,
All right. Only because that one scene of him going down
that's
the
fair.
silent
Okay,
thing.
great.
Okay.
Settled.
4.5
You heard it
coconuts
here
out of 10.
24 years later.
24 years later. Yes. And if only you guys had us around 24 years ago.
Yeah, then you wouldn't have had to watch it.
By far the worst film in the franchise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this excellent discussion of Mission Impossible 2. We are the Cocoa Bros, and we hope to see you on our next episode.